Hi, I'm Caro, aka Chillona.
And my name is Mila La Morena.
And this is The Drop.
So my first question is gonna be about drops. How did you get started with drops, and what are your favorite things about working in drops?
I got started in drops when you asked me. So when you asked me, I was like immediately yes, because I've always wanted to like look into like throwing events and doing stuff with the community, doing stuff in the field of the DIY scene. I just wanted to be more immersed in what was going on like a day-to-day basis, like in regards to like throwing shows, making music, connecting with more people, and of course I wanted to be hanging with my bestie all the time. So I was like down, and then from there I think we were just like, because we were living together at the time, and from there you and I were just like shooting ideas back and forth, and then we made a couple shows happen.
It was super cool at that time, like living together and being able to literally like knock on your door and be like, what the fuck do I post? Like, what?
Yeah. Oh my god, did you post this yet?
Yeah. Being like, what the fuck do I put as a caption and stuff like that? And
it's a lot of work.
That's when I started asking you for help, was like with fucking social media, because like for me that's so time consuming, and I feel like you do such a good job with the posts. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you've been a great asset.
I appreciate that.
So, the journey with your artistry, can you tell us a little bit about how you got from Golden Soul to Galaxia to Chillona?
I feel like it was just a matter of me coming into myself more. I was called Chillona growing up all the time because I was a crybaby. I would cry when I was happy, when I was sad, when I was mad, when I was anxious, like, and it was just so annoying, and it annoyed my family, and quite frankly, it does annoy me sometimes, but like, I think it came down to like reclaiming that idea of like being too much, being too emotional, and just accepting that it's a part of me. So like now with the artist that I am, I feel like it's the closest that I've been to like expressing who I am.
I love it. The first time you told me your name, I remember it ringing so much to me because my mom used to call me Chillona Fea, and I always associated it with that, like, oh my god, if I cry I'm ugly, like if I cry I'm annoying.
Well, they can't say I'm ugly.
That part! Yeah, I don't know. I loved your reclamation of it, and living with you, I was like, yes, girl, you do be crying, but you are still so perf.
I hate you.
So,
yeah.
Chillona.
Yeah.
This is the first show you're doing in over 2 years?
2.5 years.
2.5 fucking years. How do you feel?
I feel like more than excited to perform again. I feel like being on stage is where I thrive. Being on stage is like what feels like home to me. I think that me making music has actually revolved around having the opportunity to perform. Like when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to songwrite and put all these feelings into paper later and figure out how to record later. Right now, I just wanna be on any stage, talent show, choir, musical, like those were kind of the only options for me. So I just like totally did that. I was also in cheerleading, and it's just like high intensity performing that just like had me hooked. And when I didn't have all those things anymore and I went to college and I had to learn how to songwrite and put in the work, I was like, damn, this is actually really hard.
Yeah.
But the fruits of my labor paid off, because now I'm getting to perform like music that's mine. Like I get to express myself in a way that's like way more personal and like intimate, and that again like just reflects me in the most honest way.
Do you feel like you ever write music like with it in mind of how it's gonna look like live, or like what you're gonna do live, or how the band is gonna look, or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the new songs that I wrote these past 6 to 8 months are a reflection of like what they're going to be, what they're going to be like on stage. There is one song that I'm really excited to perform. I'm collaborating with Wait, I don't want to say because I don't want to give everything away. So, yes, the person I'm collaborating with, when we were talking about the song that we're making together, I was like, and when I'm performing it with the band, or like when I tell the band about this, I want this hit here and this, and they're like, that's actually really interesting that you think about it that way, because I've never thought of my songs like, I mean, I don't think about my songs hitting the stage until I'm sitting there with the band. Like, I'm thinking about the song. I was like, oh no, I'm thinking about like the essence of the song. Like, I think about like teenagers playing this song in their first car, like, and how like the effects of the song are gonna make them.
No, because I like kind of agree. Like, I feel the same way. Like, oh my god, like the car test. When you play the song in the car and you have it bumping and you're just like in that fucking zone, like that's how you know. That's how you fucking know.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't know.
Until that.
Sometimes you don't know like what you're working with until you like start thinking about the bigger picture, because like, you know, and I feel like I am not somebody who's like versed in production. Like, I have very basic skills to like get me by and like record a song, but I feel like for a lot of people, they like sit there, hash out the song, they know exactly what it's going to sound like every time you put it into your ears, and then like I guess I would say most people do this, and then when they're going to perform, they're like, okay, how am I going to do this live? There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think I would save myself a lot of time and patience and stress and pressure on myself if I was able to just like look at the song. But sometimes I don't know if it's just like being a Pisces and getting lost in dreamland, and like thinking about the entire fantasy gives me like real motivation. Like, it gives me like this feeling from inside, like, oh, I'm gonna write this shit and then I'm gonna take it to the stage and then they're gonna know what it's about.
So that being said, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, please come out to our Drop Survival show.
Come to our show.
If you're a fucking baddie, come through.
And you are. You know you are, right? Okay. So yeah, see you on the 13th. This has been The Drop. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see y'all soon.